Your latest news update from Western Mass News.
I'm Matt Satilli, and here's your latest news update from Western Mass News. Hundreds of the best athletes in the world participated in Ironman Western Massachusetts, the first ever Ironman competition held in Western Mass. Athletes shared their experiences from the 70.3-mile excursion, saying they enjoyed the course. One joked the bumpy roads and elevation changes make the bike portion difficult. In Longmeadow, an unknown hazardous material was found on the playground in Bliss Park this morning. The state police hazmat team is investigating. The playground will be closed until further notice. Officials say while there is no threat to the public at this time, they're asking neighbors who witnessed anything suspicious to please contact police. And also they're asking anyone with exterior cameras to check them for suspicious activity. In Philadelphia, an elevated section of I-95 collapsed after a tanker truck carrying flammable cargo caught fire. The blaze closed a heavily traveled segment of the East Coast Main North-South Highway indefinitely. Transportation officials warned of extensive delays and street closures, urging drivers to avoid the area. Thankfully, there were no reports of any injuries.
A great Sunday for us, but unsettled weather is back on the way once again for us due to a low pressure system currently over the Great Lakes. As a result, later this evening, our temperatures will drop back into the lower 60s in the valleys and upper 50s in the hill towns with cloud cover on the increase. We will have a dry evening and it will be seasonably chilly. As we head into the day tomorrow, that low pressure system begins to approach, but it looks like our day will be mainly dry. We'll start off in the morning around 61 degrees. As we move into the afternoon, we'll warm up rather nicely and hit the upper 70s with some peaks of sunshine, but there will be more clouds than sun throughout the day. We can't rule out a spot shower during the evening as well, but most of the steadier rain will arrive Monday night into Tuesday morning. We remain unsettled as we move through the week with several shower chances on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We dry out for the weekend before becoming unsettled once again for next week as well. Temperatures remain about average with our highs in the mid to upper 70s with a couple of 80-degree chances possible throughout the week.
Stay with Western Mass News on air, online, and on our app throughout the day for breaking news, weather, and exclusive content.